نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. So we will continue today with the marfu'at. Last time we got to mubtada and khabar. There was quite a confusing part right at the end of the mubtada and khabar. That was regarding the musnad ilay, the mubtada which is not a musnad ilay. Once again, just to clarify, it's when there's a sifa of sorts which is made a musnad ilay, which is made a mubtada. For example, qa'imun, and there is no dhamir inside qa'imun, because qa'imun, to be mubtada, must be preoccupied with the noun that comes after it. So for example, qa'imun, ma qa'imun zaydun, or qa'imun zaydun. If you remember, let's see if I have it here, there we go. So if you remember, so in the example, if you remembered that in these scenarios there must be a harf al-nafi or a harf al-istifham before the sifa, and that sifa must be occupied by the noun after it in order to be considered a mubtada. And we leave it at that for now, inshallah. If you have any other questions about this issue on mubtada and khabar, please let me know. But the main thing to be aware of is that these words will be haltu rafa. So now we will go into khabar of inna and the words which are of similar effect. In Arabic they say khabru inna wa akhwatuha. This just refers to the words which have similar effects and in terms of word governance as inna. So this is referring to inna, anna, ka'anna, layta, lakinna, and la'alla. Inna and anna, they both have the meaning of creating emphasis. Ka'anna, it creates a simile or metaphor kind of meaning. It means as though. Lakinna is used to show it means basically however. And layta and la'alla are used. One is taraji and one is tamanni, like for hope and wishing. So what are the particular effects or what are the particularities of inna and the words that are similar to it? So they are known as al-huruf al-mushabbihat bil-fi'l because they are similar to verbs in the sense that they come before two nouns. They come before a mubtada and a khabar. The mubtada is mansub and the khabar is marfu'. Its rulings are the same as mubtada and khabar, except the khabar cannot come before the ism of inna unless it is a dharf. So a normal example would be inna zaydan qa'imun. Note how zaydan is mansub. It has a fathah. It has two fathahs. Mansub will be represented by two fathahs when the word is sahih and does not end with any harf illat. That means it does not end in waw and ya. So zayd is such a word, it doesn't end in waw or ya. So it will be represented by two fathas when it is in mansub state. Zaydan qa'imun similarly is also a sahih noun. It does not end with a waw or ya. Therefore it will be represented in the halat rafa state with a dhamma, with dhammas, two dhammas, because it's nakira. So inna zaydan qa'imun. However, in the case of dharf, it's permissible to bring the khabar before the ism. So inna fid dari zaydan. If you recall, previously we said that in words such as dharf, adverbs, there is a hidden verb within them. We have to assume that there is a hidden verb inside these statements. So fid dar has the verb istiqarra hidden there. So it means indeed Zayd is at rest in the house, or indeed Zayd in the house is present or is resting there, is there. So inna fid dari Zaydan is the ism, but it's been brought afterwards, and this is because in the Arabic language when they are zarf, then there is flexibility. Interestingly to note, if the mubtada is nakira and the khabar is a dharf, then in such scenarios it is necessary to bring the khabar first. So if it was fiddari rajulun, then you wouldn't say rajulun fiddari, you'd say fiddari rajulun. Moving on, ism of kana and the words that are of similar effect. So the words that are of similar effect to kana are known as af'alun naqisa. It means deficient verbs. So these verbs cannot give complete meaning without a mubtada and a khabar. So normally a verb can stand by itself with just a fa'il, but these verbs, they come before mubtada and khabar to give meaning. So the main part of the sentence, the umda of the sentence, isn't the verb. It would be the mubtada and khabar creating meaning, and if this afal naqisa comes before it, then it will just enhance the meaning. For example, kana is one of these verbs, and it just places the mubtada and khabar within the past tense. So if I said kana zaydun qa'iman, it would mean Zayd was standing. Kana creates that effect. You have a few more. You have sara, which means to become, asbaha, amsa, adha, dhalla, bata, raha, ada, ada, ghada, ma zala, ma bariha, ma fatiha, man fakka, ma dama, and laysa. So like I said, the ism will be marfu and the khabar will be mansub. The khabar can always precede the ism with all of these af'alun naqisa, all of these verbs. And it's also permissible to place the khabar before the verbs. So you could say qa'iman kana zaydun. So instead of saying kana zaydun qa'iman, you could say qa'iman kana zaydun. A literal translation would be standing was Zayd. But this has the same meaning. It's permissible to speak like this in Arabic. However, it is not permissible to bring the verb, the khabar, before the verb in the verbs that have ma before them. This is ma zala, ma bariha, ma fati'a, man fakka, and ma dama. The last one, laysa, which is one of the deficient verbs, which is used for negating meaning. There's a difference of opinion whether the khabar can come before it or not. More will be discussed regarding these when we discuss af'al. Right now we're still on nouns. So when we go into the when we focus on verbs particularly, we'll discuss this in more detail. Then we have ma and la, which resemble laysa. They come also before a mubtada and khabar, and they have the same effect as laysa. So it means, what does that mean? That they have the same meaning as laysa in terms of the way that they make the ism halatul rafa and the khabar halatul nasab, and also they both have the negative meaning. So they negate meaning the same way that laysa does. Interestingly, ma can come before nakira and ma'rifa nouns, whereas la, which has the meaning of laysa, resembles laysa, can only come before nakira nouns. And the ism will be marfu and the khabar will be mansub, as we've discussed. The final marfu'at is la, which is used for negating a genus. It's used to comprehensively negate a piece of information, the predicate, the khabar, from a genus, from a collective noun. The khabar will be marfu', the ism will be mabni al-fath. In this case, there are different states which the ism of the la allati li nafil jins can appear in, which we will discuss in the next chapter in more detail. Also, what's the difference in meanings from laysa and la? So la, which is for allati li nafil jins. So laysa, the la which is used for in the meaning of laysa, is different to the la which is for allati li nafil jins. Firstly, because of the state that they will give to their respective ism and khabar. La allati li nafil jins will give a nasab to its ism and a rafa to its khabar. For example, la rajula qa'imun, whereas la, which is similar to laysa, will give its ism a rafa and its khabar a nasab. So la rajulun qa'iman. So the difference in meaning is that la rajulun qa'iman will mean a man, one man is not standing. So he's talking about a man is not standing. However, the sentence la rajula qa'imun means no man is standing. So it completely negates the possibility of any man standing. Whereas in la rajulun qa'iman, there can be two men standing, but not one single man. So it's permissible to say la rajulun qa'iman bal rajulani, that one man is not standing, but two men are. But it's not permissible to say la rajula qa'imun bal rajulani, because you've already negated the possibility of any men standing, and then to go on to say it, but two men, it makes the effect of la, which is for negating jins, useless. Some rules about the khabar of la, which is for allati nafil jins, because we are discussing marfu'at, and the khabar of la, which is for nafil jins, will be marfu', is that it's often hidden. For example, la ilaha illallah, here this la is for allati nafil jins, and some people say that mawjudun, la ilaha mawjudun is the khabar, which means that there is no God that exists. So mawjudun means to exist or to be, right? And it's also said that the khabar of la for allati li nafil jins, for negating a genus, it will always be nakira. This is because the ism is also always nakira. So it's not permissible to bring a khabar which is ma'rifah for an ism which is nakira. Also, the khabar of la allati li nafil jins will always come after the ism, even in the case where there is a dharf. So we said before that sometimes a khabar precedes its mubtada, but when it's la allati li nafil jins, this will never be the case. If this does ever happen, then the governance, the amal of the la will cancel. Right? The sentence after the la will instead be treated like a normal mubtada and khabar. So they'll both be halatul rafa instead. Alhamdulillah, that is the end of marfu'at. If there are any questions, please let me know. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.